Welcome back. A newly appointed, or rather a newly launched sign language charter seeks more inclusion for deaf people. The charter stipulates that essential service workers, such as police and social workers, should be trained in advanced sign language. September is International Deaf Awareness Month. For more on that story, I'm joined by Hlengiwe Mkhize, Deputy Minister for Persons with Disabilities. Deputy Minister, thank you very much for your time. Now, first of all, it's been 5 years since this charter has gone back and forth between different organizations before it was eventually launched yesterday. So obviously now that it's been 5 years and the charter stipulates exactly what the deaf community needs, it means all government departments as well as the private sector have no excuse but to, look at making the lives of the deaf community easier.
Thank you very much, Masego, for having me. Yes, yesterday we launched the charter for the sign language and basically the community, for the deaf community. This is so important. I mean, you could not comprehend the joy, the excitement they expressed. For me, it was almost like we have a legislation on the table. But also the issues that they raised. It's clear that we are in democracy more than 25 years, but basically we have this percentage of people who have not been included, irrespective of their concerted effort to communicate, to appeal in terms of saying, without the sign language being official, were basically excluded virtually everywhere, from school, from services like the police stations, the health clinics, because all those officials are not bound to have an interpreter for us. So for them, it's a breakthrough. It puts a lot of pressure on us, this hard work that they've been on for the past 5 years to finalize the charter. They consulted not only civil society, but government structures as well. So it puts a lot of pressure on us now and our parliament to move faster towards the realization of the sign language as the 12th official language in South Africa.
Deputy Minister, is there perhaps a reason why, that decision to make sign language the 12th official language, is there a reason why that decision has taken so long, why it's sitting in Parliament?
Sometimes in these processes, I think we should have included it from the beginning when we were considering which languages should we consider as official languages. But the usual arguments of saying, what percentage of people are you talking about? As we mature and get deeper into democracy, you realize that is even a non-starter question, because any practice which has a potential of excluding any South African will be an antithesis, in contradiction of the Constitution. So it has taken long, but also there are financial implications, which I suppose have to be taken into consideration in terms of availability of interpreters. There's also it has been also important to standardize the sign language and also to professionalize it, ongoing research, so that it's developed like any language to mature and be at the level of being acceptable.
Now, Deputy Minister, just my last question very quickly. South Africa has a lot of papers, policy or charters that have very beautiful words about how we're going to protect each and every person of the country. How's your department going to make sure that this charter, for instance, doesn't sit somewhere in a government office and just gather dust with no action being done?
Well, Well, with this sixth administration, I think monitoring and evaluation is really becoming a change maker. So we will mention, in consultation with them, the department under Minister Mthembu, we have to make sure that this issue we mainstream it across all government departments, so that whether it's a workplace, in the court of law, deaf people have access to language interpreters, ensuring that they are included and they are part of the South African community.
Well, let me thank you very much for your time, Deputy Minister Hlengiwe Mkhize.